Hey everybody, Roar of the Lions UK, Matt and Ant. We are just getting set up here. Hope you've had a great weekend. Hey everybody in the chat, come and say hi. We're just getting ready here. I'm trying to learn what I can about the Lions' new signing before we get started. Hey to Carlton and to Brent and to Dan subscribing at tier 1 for his 28th month. Says, yay, I'm off and you're on. Cheers for the quiz shows. Hopefully the finale coming this weekend on Sunday. Hope the questions have been on point, because I've been trying to pitch them at hard but not too hard, and I think the winning score reflects that, but sometimes they're too hard and it puts people off, so I don't know. But anyway, Ant, how you doing, mate?
I'm not doing too bad, thanks. You all good?
All good. Just I have no idea who Ike Bottiger is. Gonna find out though.
The wonders of camp season. Names you never knew existed suddenly come to existence.
6'6", 313 pounds. Played 36 games in 6 years, but only 17 starts. And hasn't started a game since 2021. Yay.
Camp depth. Camp body. Camp depth.
Yeah.
I would think. Manu's hurt, so, well, for whatever reason. So they need another guy in there. He'll probably be it until they don't need him no more.
All right. Hey, Junie. Says, looking good, gents. All right. Carlton says, it's all happening on Lions Media Front. Actually, yes, you're right. You've reminded me to say about Justin. Thank you. Let's see. I can't remember what it is called. Where is he? DetroitFootball.net. I think that's going to be me ready to go. How about you, man?
Yeah, I'm just still going to be doing a few more notes for a bit, but I'm good to go. I can do them. I can
Multitask?
I can multitask, despite the lie out there that men cannot do that. When it comes to NFL and podcast stuff, I can multitask. So tasks around the house, not so much, but tasks on here, yes.
Okay. I will put my news about Justin actually straight after the pod news, because otherwise we're not keeping things together, are we? Okay. So, here we go. Actually, bring up the prep doc, otherwise I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, here we go.
Recording in progress.
Welcome to another edition of the Roar of the Lions UK podcast, episode 279, Mecking Hay While the Sun Shines. My name's Matthew Turner alongside Anthony Fitzpatrick. How you doing, man?
I don't know how to feel about that.
That's one of my better ones.
Yeah. I can't think of this. I can't think right now at this moment in time. I would have gone like with on the wingos of an angel or something like that. I don't know. Whatever. It'd have been a Mecky one.
I wanted to go with Winnebago, but I thought that was really stupid.
Yeah. Sion Old Lions. Hey, there we go.
Yeah.
Sione. Oh no, it's Sione. Dione? I don't know. Anyhow, I'm good.
Ooh, Sione. Anyway, oh guys, hope you've had a good weekend. Roar of the Lions UK. We are doing the first of our rookie review shows. We've got 2 coming up for you. We're looking at 4th rounder Sione Vaki and 6th rounder Mecky Wingo from our rookies. So I will say the first part of this is obviously going to be news. The second part of this, we are going to put it up on the podcast feed. it is probably best viewed on YouTube and Twitch, mainly because we're breaking down the tape and we're going to be putting it on we're streaming it. So we'll be talking around it. We'll be talking about what we see, which will still be fine podcast content, but best viewed online. Listen to the first bit and then see how you feel and whatever, but just to warn up front. Let's get the show on the road just with a bit of preamble as we always do. Don't forget to join our Discord channel. It's the best place to, stay in contact with us all the way through the week. If you like the sound of us and what we speak about and all that sort of stuff, then you can listen to us there and communicate with us directly, as well as a fantastic community of Lions fans and fans from across the league on our channel there. So come and join us. Link in the YouTube and Twitch right now. Please don't forget to like the show, sub to the podcast, all that stuff. You know that it really helps us out. Being a smaller YouTuber, we can do with all the help we can get, so thank you in advance. College football podcast, and you did the Sun Belt East last week. Can I assume you're flipping geographically over to the other side?
Maybe. I've not even started them yet, and they take a while. So there may be I'm hoping there'll be a college show this week, but it will be about something else. The Sunbelt West will have to wait till next week. They take time to do. I don't have all the time in the world. So, yeah, there will be a show, hopefully. I had a few bits I needed to do as well, and there's been quite a bit of news. So we'll probably do a college football news show, and then we'll get back to the previews next week.
Sounds great. Do check out the Sunbelt East stuff, because that was really, really good. Had a great set of reviews from people after that show, so go and check it out. Don't forget to check out Lions Nation Unite, Herman Moore's project to bring the best in Lions content creators together. I know that they are mobilizing their forces right now, so they're going to bring up some really good stuff all the way through the season, so get on the train right now. And Twitch affiliated YouTube monetized, you know what to do. If you're liking what you listen to and you want to show some love in that way, that'd be great, but just watching us is enough. Right, news. And for once, and there is plenty of it. So the rookies have already reported to camp. They were meant to get there July 20th, of course. The worldwide disruption with the internet issues meant that some of our players were actually stranded because they couldn't fly. I know that American were completely grounded the day before, so I suspect that some of the rookies were late. But it looks like the vets have actually arrived as well, quite early, some of them, along with the rookies. So that's great news. And training camp actually starts on the 27th. The tickets start 27th of July to August 14th. And some of those are for season ticket holders only. They're all sold out, although the camp practices for the media actually begin 3 days before, on the 24th of July, which is in 2 days' time. And football's coming! Football's coming!
I know. I don't know what it is about this off-season, but I don't know. It's just felt so long and boring. And the stupid thing is we went longer in the season, so it's not been as long, but I think it's the expectation that, this is the first time in a lot of ours fandoms when we can safely say, oh yeah, we're going for a Super Bowl this year. And I think people just want the season to come and they want it to begin and want us to start kicking ass again, which I know is what I want. Screw this preseason stuff, screw training camp stuff. It's great, but I just want the real season to be here so we can start proving to people that we weren't a fluke last year and that we are legit. And I think that's been it. So this is the next step. We're getting a bit closer. College football starts a few weeks before, so we come back to football all together. Got about another month or so, and I can be up till stupid o'clock every night of the week watching football. It's great. I love it. I've enjoyed my time off in my regular sleep cycle, but it's time to get back to ungodly sleeping hours again.
I think the thing about it is that I don't want to wish it away because the season is all too short, and by the time it's started, it's finished again. At least with camp starting and the preseason kind of starting to come in, tease me a little bit, that's at least there's something like the doldrums, like the Mays and Junes after the draft, where they kind of die down a bit and you're really in the sort of dead space. That's the worst. Now that things are happening, news is coming out, we're going to hear stuff about how people are training. At least that's something, just little something to nibble on, and I can't wait to hear how we're doing. Multiple Lions rookies have been drafted in the UFL draft, which has happened in the last 7 days. Wide receiver Isaiah Williams out of Illinois has been drafted by the reigning champion Birmingham Stallions, and the edge Isaac Ukwu from Ole Miss has been drafted by our in-state Michigan Panthers. And I think Ukwu is a 3rd rounder, Williams was a 4th rounder. I would hazard a guess and say that those rounds aren't indicative of ability. In fact, it's almost the inverse potentially, because I would have thought they'd expect Williams to catch on in the league, but maybe Ukwu to not. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, it's a weird one with the spring football leagues and that. You obviously want to draft players so you can win, but do you take the risk that they're going to be there all together? Because I mean, you can hold on to the rights. Once you've drafted them, you hold on to the rights for them, but it's about knowing who's going to make it and who's not. Because you don't want to draft a load of guys and then none of them be available for you because they're all playing in the NFL. So it's not as indicative as normal drafts would be. These guys may have gone a bit higher if they'd not caught on with NFL teams, but I'm not sure. I would expect they're both probably going to be there. I'm not sure either of them makes it. I mean, Isaiah could. Like, training camp's going to be a big one for him, and the wide receiver depth. Like, he's one of many who could make it. But I think we'll see a lot more of them there eventually as well. They'll catch on. Like spring, if you're a UDFA, then spring league's pretty much the way to go to get your shot back again. Because there's been quite a few guys who were on NFL teams now who were in the spring leagues last year, so it's becoming a more viable route. It's not your NFL career's over if you go there now. It's an opportunity. Keep playing.
I do think that when it comes to the spring leagues, it's one of those things that I think the UDFAs who've spent a year on a practice squad should make the leap. I think that those guys who are freshmen out of the league, who are UDFAs, if they get offered a practice squad spot, should potentially take it and go through a full year with NFL caliber training and scout team stuff and whatever, because I think I don't know, I would hazard a guess at saying that the NFL is better at training people than the UFL. So go through a full season, see if you can get a shot through injury. That's where your money is going to be made. Maybe you get elevated, get a nice juicy paycheck. If you go through the entire year on a practice squad, or even worse, not even making a practice squad, then after a year, if you don't make it again, then make the leap and get some actual playing time, having learned what you've learned and put it into practice. But I would only give it one season. I just think if you make the leap too quickly, that maybe they're just too raw and haven't been taught enough at the right level. But I don't know.
In all honesty, it would be good to see the NFL be able to link up with one of the leagues and use it as a farm system for some, like for all these UDFAs and that, for all your futures guys, because you sign your futures guys quite early, but they're not going to play, and you may have rise them, but like guys like them, you'd want to try and get some football just to keep them going, to help develop them. And hell, even this year, guys like Manu and that, like Manu needs to be playing football, but he's not going to do it at the NFL in the first couple of years.
Farm him out to AAA. Say that he can be on your roster, but
yeah,
designate him.
Not even use the roster, but like I say, just have it as a farm system where you guys can get some real game time against people, and be able to do it that way. You might have to do it during the winter when the NFL season's on, therefore the NFL would link up with it to keep the costs running, etc. It more than can, because you don't want your players playing all throughout spring, then going straight into camp, then going straight into an NFL season. That won't be healthy for them, but if you could make one of them into a winter league almost, that runs concurrently, so that you can farm all your guys down there and have them ready. Because then if they've played, and if you could call them up, from your practice squad, and they've been playing regular football during the week, they're good and ready to go. They're not just coming ice cold off a practice squad having not played. They've been playing some real football. They're up to game speed. It's a lot better. So I know it won't happen, but in an ideal world, something like that would. And because these leagues are not making any money. These leagues are not really thriving. You saw the indoor football arena, they're playing in a mall. Right now, at this point, it's like, what's the point at this point? But
yeah,
hey,
I mean, if one of your players just isn't, up to scratch or needs a bit more playing time at a lower level, you could just designate them to the Toledo Rockets and see how they do. It makes sense, though. There's 8 UFL teams. There's 32 NFL teams. Why don't you give each of the UFL teams first option for 4 of the NFL teams on your players, because there's a rule where UFL players can opt out of their contract to sign with an NFL team. Well, why not make it not all of league? Why not make it 4 NFL teams can sign your players, and they can also loan their players to you, and for the thank you of doing that, they get some financial benefit from those 4 NFL teams.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be some way. Like the intricacies of it can be wielded out, but there should be a way in which you're able to do it. It just seems silly to not be able to make it work that way. Because the spring leagues are good, but again, the guys coming through the spring leagues are then just going like Maurice Alexander did an entire season, came straight into camp, straight to participating, straight into the season. Look good, but these guys then don't get a break until the end of the first NFL season. That's if they even manage to stay on a roster, or if they're going to go back again. So, don't know. Stream it. Take one of these many leagues. You don't need that many spring leagues. Take one of them, move them to the winter, affiliate them, and then do that. But I hate you.
It would be so easy when you're talking about a salary cap of $260-70 million next year, which represents 50% of the revenue per team. There's a few $1 million available somewhere.
Exactly.
There's got to be. Right, let's move this on, and some really exciting media news for a couple of different people. Pride of Detroit podcast is back. They made a triumphant return yesterday, having released the news and teased the news last week that they were coming and had their first show. I managed to stay up for the first half an hour as it started at midnight our time. They got a crazy number of subs with people celebrating. Much deserved. They've been through the absolute mill. Firstly, fuck SB Nation for what they did. Terrible decision to get rid of it in the first place. And then, well done to both sides for working on a deal which is going to work for both sides. There's actually going to be more Pride of Detroit content than there was before, if you're willing to sign up to their direct subscription, which I think with their discount at the moment is something like $3 a month over a year, $35 or something like that. So great value for some of the better content out there. So go and support our friends over at Pride of Detroit. That'd be fantastic. I still need to watch the rest of their show from yesterday. But the boys are back. And Justin Rogers, formerly of the Detroit News, he announced that he was resigning from the Detroit News a couple of months ago. He had his final day on Sunday. And then today, Monday, he announced that he is doing it himself. He's going it alone, and he's formed his own website, which is called Detroit Football Network, or DetroitFootball.net. He's also going down a similar vein to what Pride of Detroit Direct are doing. So I think it's a similar sort of level in terms of dollar amount. And, I mean, Justin has been regarded widely as one of, if not the best reporter on the beat. So if anyone's going to make this stick, and he is. But it's a ballsy move to go from a salary position, presumably with some benefits like health, which, is hard to come by when you're going it alone. And it's, he's... If anyone can make a stick, Justin can, because he's a great writer.
Yeah, and sometimes you need that kick to go out and do your own project and make your own thing. That's where all these other sites have come from. Like people starting up, putting in a lot of work and effort and leaving a legacy behind. So, the beat is very competitive with the Lions. We've got lots of very, very good, talented beat writers. And, you need to keep raising the bar as you were. So good luck to him. Good luck to all of them. And hopefully, everyone continues to thrive. It's a very, very healthy community of people we've got online, which is really good for the fans. This level of competition can only help.
I think at the end of the day, a rising tide raises all ships. And the great thing for me about the general fans out there, not the specific ones who want to tear it all down, which we probably hear the most from, but there's an underswell of absolutely fantastic Lions supporters who get behind people like that. And that's why we've been so fortunate to have lots of both professional beat writers and fantastic amateurs out there in the space who are all well supported. So I think it's just one of those things where it's not really competition. Everyone just needs to succeed. There's enough people out there to watch and read everything, and enough different styles to suit hopefully every viewer and reader. So I like to kind of get behind everyone really, because it's a fantastic space and the quality of everything just improves. And considering what happened with SB Nation, I'm not exactly going to go against one person eschewing themselves of their corporate overlord, to be honest.
Exactly.
All right, the last bit we have is actually Lions player related. So the first of that is injuries. Now the Lions have designated some people, so we've got some people on the potentially unable to perform list, the PUP. That's DB Brian Branch, outside linebacker Marcus Davenport, and defensive lineman DJ Reader. And then we have the rookie offensive lineman Giovanni Manu on the non-football injury list, the active NFI. NFI means one of two things: either that they were injured before they became a Lion, in which case it's a non-football injury, even if it is a football injury, because it happened outside of the NFL, or he injured himself away from the facility, whereas the PUP is to do with football-related injuries while employed by the league. And any surprises there for you?
I mean, Branch isn't. We all knew Branch was having his he had surgery done. We all knew that he was going to be on there for a bit. We all knew with Reader he was going to be on there as well. So those two were not surprising. Davenport, I mean, like, he had his surgery in October. That's a long ass time ago for an ankle surgery, and to still not be classified as ready to go. Like, my threshold with him is tiny this year, given his injury history. Like, you're not ready to go for the season, then get lost. So I'm hoping he's in sooner rather than later. He shouldn't be on there very long because he's had enough time to recover. He fleeced the Vikings for a lot of money last year. I'm not having it done here again. So that one I was a little surprised with, but we'll see what's on there. As for Manu, I mean, you put two and two together and make potato. I mean, he's on the list. He's on an injury list, and now we've just signed a guard to the camp group that we have here. Would suggest maybe they're not expecting him to be ready just yet. I mean, it could just mean they're looking for more line depth. 2 and 2 makes 5 in this case, but it's one to watch because mainly it's been done away from this team. Pretty sure he wasn't injured going into the draft process, so I don't think it's anything pre the draft. So it's something that's happened since, and I have no idea what. No one said a word about it. So one to watch. Because you don't really get many guys going on that list, and if you do, generally you hear about what's happened to them. So that's just one to keep an eye on. That is.
Yeah, it's a little bit worrying for Manu. I mean, at the end of the day, he's a draft and develop guy. You can't develop while you're injured. Okay, mental reps are fine, but the guy's going to learn by doing. He hasn't done enough, so he needs to get to well as soon as possible. And as Ant alluded to, the signs are not good for him because the Lions have gone ahead to make a signing. The former Bill and Colts guard, Ike Bottiger. He is 6'6", 313 pounds, born October 5th, 1994. Went to Iowa for college. He started 17 games in the league, played 36. He started 17 games for the Bills, all of which came between 20 and 2021. Had okay stats during that time, but after those 2 seasons became a peripheral player in 2022 before being cut, and then was an Indianapolis Colt last season, playing only 2 games before also being waived. So feels very much like a camp body, as you suggested earlier to me in the pre-show.
Yeah, I mean, the offensive line, it's a very intriguing thing. Like, we talked about this when we did the way early 53-man potential stuff there. There's a weird imbalance on the line where we don't have a lot of NFL experience behind the front 5. Like, we've got Awashika. So actually, when this guy comes in, he can lay claim to being he'd be the most. I don't know if Awashika's played in 33 games. He might be close, but he might be able to lay claim to being the most experienced guy after our top five, which is kind of where this imbalance is. We've invested a lot in rookies and day three picks who haven't quite got there yet. So maybe he could fight his way into that little in-between group where we take on the first five, we take on all the rookies and day three picks, which already leaves us with like 9 offensive linemen, and then there's that tiny little gap in the middle where our Sheikah will be. Maybe someone like him could be, I don't know, but they're certainly going to give him a chance to. We do need someone who's played games in there at some point, so I don't know, he might surprise us all.
So Coyote's played in 25 Lions games, but only started 5.
Has he not played anywhere else then? Is it just with us?
So he's had 2 seasons with the Lions and 1 season with the Eagles before that. He's only a 3-year player.
Right. So this guy, he's the most experienced guy we've got behind the front five. So that kind of gives you an indication. Like I say, we're just weirdly influenced. Like we implicitly trust our starting 5 offensive linemen, but then we just have this weird disconnect where there's not many starts behind it. But we've invested in the guys to do it, but they've not done it yet. So, like maybe this guy does come in and make a roster, or like him and our Sheikah and all the young guys in there with the front five. Who knows?
Yeah, Natane Muti is the other one who really has done some time.
Yeah, it's obvious they are trying to get some guys in who have actually played in the NFL to complement all the young guys we've got, just in case something doesn't go right in that regard. Because like I said in ours, I struggle to see a world where you can take Manu and Sorsdal if you're taking a backup center, if you're taking Mahogany, because you've just not got enough bodies. So I don't know. Intriguing. If Manu's too hurt and can go on pup, that maybe solves the problem, but
then it really hurts his development, as I was saying. I mean, because when you go on these lists, you can't train with the team, and he needs time with the coaches. Otherwise, he's not going to develop, in which case, what's the point?
Oh, exactly. So that's why it's like to bring in this experience. It does seem it might not be to do with Manu for that reason. Then it might just be trying to find an experienced vet to take with us to come in and because I say played 11 games in 2022. So he's been in, he's plugged and played. Our Sheikah's plugged and played for us a little bit. So and that's done us just fine. That's all we've needed, really. Because the front five stay really healthy. So
but I hope we get lucky with offensive line this year, I think, a little bit, because it's going to be tough. Okay.
The hope is we blow enough teams out that we can put guys in for a quarter and give them some time. Bet them in. What's the way to do it? Wouldn't
hurt at all. John Fisher's just asking about Muti, Natane Muti. He has played for the Raiders mainly. He's had 22 games, I think, so he's still not more tenured than Coyote Sheikah. Although he did apparently look like he was the best interior offensive lineman at camp, apart from... Was Graham there? I think Graham might have been there. But, it's one of those.
The two guards are not going to see much time doing it, not given their age.
Yeah.
They're going to be rested.
Yeah, it's true. All right, so it is time to do this, our first tape watching of this off-season. I know we're getting close to camp, but good to have a watch of the tape. We're going to take Sione Vaki first. Now, obviously, we've drafted him as a running back per the team. He played the majority of his reps in college as a safety, so the majority of tape is him as a safety. We will see a little bit of running back at the end, where we'll have a look at 7 plays. Otherwise, we're going to have a look at plays throughout 2023 against Florida in week 1, at USC in week 8, versus Oregon in week 9, and then the offensive play is at Washington in week 11. Just a bit on Sione Vaki to start with. As a running back, he's got a RAS of 7.94. He's 5'11", 210, did 20 on the bench, which is good. He's got an elite explosion grade, 39.5 on the vert, 10'5" broad. A little slower in terms of top speed, 4.62 in the 40 with a 1.6 10-yard split, which is middle of the pack. And then agility-wise, 4.28 on the shuttle and 7.16 on the 3-cone is also okay. So fairly average across the board, apart from in that explosion grade, and you will see that on tape. The Lions drafted him in round 4, 132nd overall. His stats for his college career go something like this. On offense, 42 carries for 317 yards. That's 17 and a half. No, 42. Yeah, hang on. I thought I knew what I was talking about, and I don't. So, let me go back and just check which one's blooming receiving and which one's rushing, because I have completely mucked that up. Okay, do this again. So, it was rushing 42 carries for 317 yards, 7.5 yards a carry, and 2 touchdowns. 11 receptions for 203 yards. That's 18.5 yards per catch, and 3 touchdowns. So in total, that's 53 plays, 9.8 yards per play, and 5 touchdowns. On defense, in his career, he has 92 tackles, of which 71 are solo. So the majority of his tackles are made on a solo basis. Included in that is 12 tackles for a loss, 2 sacks and an interception, 5 passes defended, a forced fumble. He had a PFF grade on offense 94 in his career, and on defense 79.5 in 2022 and 66.8 in 2023. So saw a downturn in his PFF grade more recently. On special teams, he's only had 1 kick return for 16 yards, but he's otherwise taken 248 special team snaps in his college career, 52 in the kick return team, 88 in kick coverage, 39 in punt return, 24 in punt coverage, and 45 in field goal block. So he does almost all of the phases on special teams apart from field goal kick. As a special teamer, PFF grades of 72.8 in 2022 and 67.4 in 2023. So I think it's fair to say that the stats don't jump off the page on defense, and they do on a very limited basis on offense. We're going to have a look at him as a safety for 5 plays in the Florida game. So I will share this with Ant so he can see what we're looking at, and hopefully you all will as well. Why am I blank and you are not? That's just weird. Oh well. Damn thing, can't make it bigger. Okay. Hopefully this is going to work. So, first play, we can see Vaky in single high here with the Florida team in the red zone. Reacts quickly to a quarterback scramble, but tries to make a big missile type hit instead of a tackle. A fumble happens, but I think it's due to what the other player did and not necessarily him. This is going to be an instance which we'll see a few times here where his tackling leaves a little bit to be desired. So let's run this tape. So see him backpedal a little bit, which he's actually quite good at. It reacts, the quarterback's now scrambling, so he comes forward for it, tries to hit him, ball comes loose, and is knocked out of play eventually. We'll see this again from the reverse angle if I try and get us out of the way here. So quarterback's looking, and he takes off now. You can see Vaky appear on your screen now. And he hits one shoulder, but he actually, if I slow this down a little bit. Actually, I don't know if I can slow this down. Speed. Half, that's good. So Vaky is appearing here on the screen in the bottom right. And Vaky kind of hits the shoulder without the ball, which maybe does contribute to the fumble. But in that situation, when the quarterback's got clean air potentially behind Vaky, I'd like to see him just wrap up. Personally, I do like how quickly he came downhill when he realised he was scrambling. Any thoughts, Dan?
I actually remember watching this game. I'm a big Utes fan going into last year with the Pac-12 stuff. Yeah, I don't think it's it. He's there to make a play. It kind of reminiscent of the one Gardner Johnson had last year. He had a play like that where he sort of really completely overshot it, like flailed an arm out. Someone else came in and made the tackle, and he tried to claim it there. But yeah, it's indicative of a guy who's not played a massive amount, still has a bit to learn there. But hey, he's there to make the play. That's the main important thing. He's there. He helps out. Any amount of momentum stopping to help your teammates come in and make a tackle as well is worthy.
All right, I've got to try and find the right way to actually get to the right point here. So I'm just going to wind to the end of this playthrough a minute. Get to 10:15. Oh my god, it's so slow on half speed. I don't like it.
It works for me on half speed. On full speed, it's lagging for me. I don't think it's for anyone else, but it does for me.
Right, I'll do it on half speed. Okay, so here we are. So we've got Vaky as the kind of strong safety here, or maybe one of three. Maybe he's outside corner there rather than safety, but he's just off the line. I don't really know what that word says. But in short, anyway, he is going to be, I think, manned up on one of these trips on the left-hand side of the Florida offense. So he's going to come down to meet the trips, and then he's got a tip drill as the Florida receiver hits it up. And he actually ends up tipping it up again to himself and makes the interception. Really good concentration, good reactions. Really want to see that. I don't know where to put us, so I'll put us here. Okay, let's roll this through. So snaps away. He comes downfield. You can see the guy comes forward, tip drill. He tips it up. Eyes on the ball. Nice play. Gets down. Keeps control of the ball. We'll see that from the reverse angle as well. Try and get us out of the way. Okay, so we'll go through this again. So Vaky will come into your screen shortly. Ball tipped up, and he does really well to tip that back up to himself. I mean, it's a risky one because maybe an offensive player comes down with it, but good concentration, good ball skills, and actually one of those things on tape, I think, which demonstrates his receiving ability, which is one of the reasons why we potentially want him on offense, Ant.
Yeah, I like the reactions. It's good, quick reactions. Although I would say if the receiver catches that and immediately breaks inside, then he's toast. He's not making a tackle there. So, you've got to be careful, having a look at that. But, you've got to make the plays while they're there. The receiver tips it. He is there quick enough to go and make the play out of nothing. That's great. I like the reactions there. But, yeah, just the positioning to make the play if the receiver makes the catch is a little iffy. That would be the only thing I'd say there. But yeah, it's good play from him.
This is again more examples of bad tackling, and he is not vaunted for his tackling, I will say, so potentially it's not surprising, but he is going to be, so this is 3rd and 1, so there's not long to go here. As you can see, he's the highest in the formation, but he ends up coming down a little bit. He's going to be manned up on the running back. He should make the tackle here, but he kind of no-arm misses it and gets bailed out by someone else. They get a bit lucky here, the Utes. Let's roll this through. So comes down after communication, handed off to the running back, and he's there to make the tackle, and he does hit him, but he kind of brushes him. It's...
See the blitzer coming around the edge?
Yeah, so he's 28 here, so in the bottom right.
Oh, right, yeah.
So he's walking up to the line, handed off to the running back. He reacts to it well, gets there, and then the running back just kind of brushes past him, and he's fortunate the 31 is there, because otherwise that's a touchdown. And I'll just go back just a smidge. Bloody too far. I hate this video software. We'll do the whole thing again. So he comes downhill well, and from this angle, it kind of looks like he's really made the play. From first glance, I thought, that's a really good play. I'll put that in. And then from this angle, bottom right here, good communication, triggers well after seeing it's a run, and then, I don't know, the running back just kind of gets past him. It's weak.
That is Trevor Etienne, is it not?
Yes, it is.
He's like his brother. He's very, very tough to bring down. There are many a DB who's tried to tackle him and bring him down and hasn't. I mean, for me, he does enough. He stops the momentum enough for the safety to come in and make a tackle with him. I think it's the other safety. Could be wrong, but like his size, that's a size mismatch. I actually quite like his tenaciousness going in for that and putting his body on the legs. Like I say, Trevor Etienne is a human being who is very hard to bring down, and he helps do that. So I get where you're coming from, but I do like it. He's going to throw himself in there, and these young DBs, a lot of them, they have. These are problems some guys have in college, pursuit angles, tackling angles, stuff like that. That's kind of stuff that comes with higher level experience and coaching, etc. So I actually quite like that from him.
Okie dokie. This is a good play. For me, a rare example of a good play from him. I'm sorry to say that I just don't like him as a safety. I'm not going to hide it. So this is 3rd and 5, ball on the 28. He is going to be single high here, which means I need to get us out of the way. So single high here, and he sees the zone read, handoff to the running back, and it's a running back sweep off the handoff. And he makes a touchdown saving stop here from about 28 yards out. So hands this off. He triggers as soon as he sees the running back running out. There's a bit of a hold in there, which is going to bring it back anyway. But Vaky matches him and, I mean, really takes him down there. It's great technique, finally. First time I've actually seen him wrap and use his arms. Come this side. So Mertz hands it off to Etienne. Vaky triggers and actually has to come a long way here to get there. The technique, though, gets the arm round the legs, dumps him on the floor. Really good stuff. I mean, it's coming back anyway, but he does the right thing.
That's really impressive tackle. Given his momentum's going outside and Etienne's cut back inside to maintain the strength to grab him and keep a hold of him, that's impressive feat of strength right there. Because so many times your momentum will just mean that you can't wrap the guy up properly. So, yeah, like I say, it is going back, but you know he doesn't know that.
No.
He's still going to make the play.
Still going to make the play. It doesn't change anything about how the play played out.
No, exactly.
Not for him, anyway. Apart from he had the opportunity to make a play, and he damn well made it. I think that's probably the best play we'll see from him on defense in this video. Move on to the next one. If I can get it. There we go. Perfect. Right, 2nd and 8 on the 24. As you can see, Florida are getting blown away here, 24-11, with about 2 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. So, and Miami just scored 8 points as well. So, Florida just scored 8 points as well. So they're trying to make a late surge to get back into this game. So you've got to put them in the dirt. So he is the central safety here. Looks like they got 3 back there. Surveys the play, but he switches off and allows a man behind him, but only a bad throw from Mertz actually saves the day here for Utah. So let's run this through. The snap's away. These 2 receivers are coming forward. One curls out, and one just does a double move and gets behind Vaky, who's caught absolutely sleeping. I mean, that should be his guy, unless he's a kind of free safety while the others are meant to be manned up. But just wind this back, because it's something that I've seen in Vaky's game a lot. He likes to stand still while he's diagnosing things and looks a bit flat-footed. Just watch Vaky here. Don't watch anything else. He stands there, he stands there, he stands there. Now he's moving and the guy's already behind him. And it's only a slightly overthrown ball which allows Florida to not come away with a touchdown there. Watch this from the reverse angle. Mertz snaps the ball there. Vaky doesn't move. Doesn't move. Now he's moving. And it's straight over his head.
He's watching the quarterback. He's watching the quarterback all the way there. And then when he sees the pressure coming, he sees where Mertz's head moves. And then he makes his move because he knows he's going to have to throw it because the pressure's coming.
But the problem is, in a game where you're 13 points up with 2 minutes to go, it's prevent defense. Not let them score a quick touchdown, because that's the only way you lose this game. Like, if that's how he's being coached, that's fine, but then that's really bad coaching. I know you want to,
I guess it's like our equivalent of ball, when we're accused of ball watching in football here, you're more bothered watching where the football is than where your man is.
Yeah.
And sometimes there it seems like he's spying almost. He's
Yeah.
just looking where the quarterback's going, and then he'll make the play based on where the quarterback's gonna go.
Yeah.
And I don't know, looking back at again, whether it's the corner's responsibility, because the corner does go with him. So I don't know. I feel like he's maybe sort of a spine there, but you do want to see him up on his toes a little bit, ready to move a bit quicker.
All right, that was week 1. We're going in chronological order here. So we're going week 8 this time. So hopefully he's developing through the season. That's what you like to see. Run defense grade tanks, but the coverage grade goes up. So let's see what happens. Oh, so coverage grade goes up despite not making an interception in this game. Go figure. Probably means he didn't have a great game against Florida. Okay. Our first one in this one is 19 seconds in. And if I actually don't screw up, I'll be in the right place. So obviously playing Caleb Williams here at quarterback. So getting a look at him as well while we're here. So he rotates into single high, which I think might have already happened because I've gone 2 seconds too far. Spots the wide receiver screen, which I think is to this right-hand side of the USC offense at the top. And he explodes upfield once the pass is made and makes an effective open field tackle. I don't actually know if I'm on half speed here, so just double check. And I'm in the way. Yeah, there's half speed. All right, let's go for this. So, RPO. We've got a little sort of bubble type screen. Comes forward. Camera angle's not fantastic, but makes a kind of launched play there. So that's Vaky moving into the bottom left of your screen there. Caleb doesn't hand that off and then decides to dump it off camera. Doesn't really catch up here, which is a bit frustrating. Vaky approaching now. Has to jump over a player to get there, but makes a kind of mid-air tackle, which is very effective. So really like to see that. It's showing off his explosiveness, Ant.
Yeah. I remember watching this game as well, actually. That Utah defense was over them like a rash, but like you say, the play identification, going over, given especially when he sees Caleb starting to... Caleb does that a lot, the dump off. They were really good at running wide receiver screens, very physical. So to get in there and make the play quick, again, it's play recognition, which is what you want to see. Especially from a guy like him who's going to use his IQ a lot to get his size. So... Yeah, you're good to see plays like that. And the one-on-one tackles, obviously, you want to see that as well.
I should just say, I watched all of these games in the cut-ups, and these are the players I considered notable. The problem with the safety is they're often out of the game. This is why we're not watching a full game of his. So this is why we're jumping about like we are. Okay, bigger play here. USC on 3rd and 4 at the 42. So do well here. Get off the field. He's going to be in the sort of slot position here, covering this wide receiver here. So he's actually in zone coverage as opposed to man at this point. And the man that he's sort of in front of runs a curl, but the man wide will sort of run a slant type thing, I think. Actually ends up passing that off and then ends up following Caleb and forcing him out of bounds on the far side, if I remember this rightly. Hopefully. Let's have a look. So backpedals a little bit. It's a feature of his. I'm sure it's coached. So someone else comes off, runs the curl. Number 2's now running a sort of not slant, but he's following him here. And now Caleb takes off. Why am I... Oh, so he's all the way at the top here. And now he's reacting to Caleb running across the field. There we go. I was right eventually. And forces him out of bounds. So Caleb obviously making the play, getting the first down. It takes a while to develop this, but his concentration's really good. So snaps away. He's away on this right-hand side of the screen. Backpedaling now in the bottom right. So he's now following number 2. Sticks with him. Doesn't allow Caleb to throw. Navigates traffic. Continues to follow him around. Now Caleb's coming upfield. Now he's beyond the line and can't throw. Trying to get out. Vaky's now responding. Now he's on this left-hand side, forcing him out. Oh, no, that's not even him. He's behind the play. Whoa, sorry. Sometimes it's hard to tell the bloody numbers when we're there as well. But anyway, followed the man well. I liked him in coverage. That was what that was meant to be. Let's move on to number 3 on this play, on this game. All right, 2nd and 7. Tie ball game. Coming to the end of quarter 1. This is the midfield defender here. Reads the quarterback's eyes, comes downhill to the flat, hesitates and misses the tackle here, unfortunately. So let's run this through. The kind of linebacker sort of position. Doesn't hand this off. Caleb steps back. He reacts. Can see the throw going out wide. Triggers. He's going to be the first guy there. And it's a good juke, but it's a bit soft from Vaky for me. I'll watch that from the other side. So Vaky is right in the middle here. He's now seeing that free run on the left. He's triggered to it. He's going to get there. Throws made. Catch is made. He's there. He's just on his heels a bit for me. And actually, for being an explosive player, and we've seen it, he's kind of hanging back, thinking maybe he's going to cut inside. And so he just allows him to come forward. And he needs to be on his toes. And
yeah, that's a little bit of hesitation there. I think he's scared of getting juked or hurdled. That's where you get hurdled if you go in too quick, and players don't want to end up on a poster getting hurdled. So like, just waited a moment, and you say it's just a bit of a limp arm. It wasn't even a big juke there. So yeah, that's all. That's technical. That is. You've just got to be careful, and you've got to be convicted. Like the one before, it was just his conviction. He went up, he went in hard, he made the tackle, he was convicted. That time he wasn't, and that's the difference. You just got to go make the play.
The next play is actually this next one. So having not made that play, it's now 3rd down and 2. He's going to be the slot versus an empty set for USC. So he's going to recognise here that the wide receiver screen is happening on this side and explodes to meet it. This is actually going to be a quarterback draw, but this is more about seeing his quick recognition of what's happening, especially when you're in shotgun in an empty set, that, you know, Caleb has to make a quick decision. And so the fact that he's triggering on this, I think if Caleb ends up throwing the screen here, Vaky might have a shot at pick 6. So let's roll this through. So the snap's made here. You can see them going for the screen now for number 2, and Vaky is exploding to it, and then sees that Caleb is actually coming forward. The play gets stopped quite quickly. I think they're short, but it's that trigger. I think he's out of sight here. I think we'll see him on this play from this angle. Yeah, so Caleb had no intention of actually throwing that, but obviously they're faking it. The fact, though, that Vaky can see what's happening that quickly, I think is an encouraging sign, and
yeah, I think that's props to the edge there. He's in that throwing lane, so he stops it from happening, right? He doesn't try and dive inside on a pass rush. But yeah, the recognition there, you can see him. He's very astute. He's observing, and he makes the plays when he needs to. So yeah, it's a positive trait of his.
This is the final play. So 3 plays back to back here, but obviously this one is the first of this drive. So he's going to be in the slot here. You will notice, by the way, that when it says he's a safety, some of the plays we're seeing from him are in single high. Some have been in split safety, but actually a lot have been in linebacker positions, in the slot. He really does kind of play all over the defense. So you can see he's covering the slot receiver here. He recognizes it's going to be a running back in the flat. He beats his wide receiver blocker. The running back actually already fumbles before he gets there, but he puts a hit on the running back, forcing him to not be able to recover the ball, and it gives the Utes a turnover. So let's watch this. So he's covering the wide receiver, but he's got his eyes on the quarterback. Contacts him a little bit downfield. That wouldn't fly in the NFL, but he beats him. Now the running back's missed it, he's lost it, and he hits him. And that allows the Utes to get on top of it. This is something which Dan Campbell's going to love. So let us be a bit further down here. Okay. So you can't see Vaky at the moment. He's away on the left. Caleb steps back. Running back now goes in the flat. He dumps it off. He comes downfield after beating his wide receiver man. Drop the ball. Hits the running back. Stops him from picking it up. And it actually ends up being recovered by the Utes. And heads up play.
Power. So the Utes defense is all about. Turnovers, power, on full show there. So yeah, it's just very good play. And again, he's in his conviction. He goes in with his conviction, nice and strong and powerful, and he makes the hit. That's just what you got to do. You just got to believe in yourself, and good things happen.
All right, let's skip to a minute into this one. So this is now week 9, the very next week, versus Oregon at home. One of his worst PFF grades of the season, unfortunately, but it's against Bo Nix and Oregon, who, so, what do you expect? So here it is the first play, no, not the first play again, but it's 1st and 10 with 58 seconds gone in the game. So he's going to be split safety, but he's going to be one of the high safeties here, about the 40-yard line. Follows the quarterback's arm to cover either side, in position to stop the wide receiver if the cornerback misses. So this is him. It's one of his better traits, and you mentioned it earlier about him watching the quarterback. He does a good job of reading the quarterback and trying to cover the space he needs to. He shows good sideline-to-sideline ability, I think. So sorry, we're not on half speed here. Not good. Not good. Wish I didn't have to change it for every video. That'd be good. All right, here we go again. So Nix is about to throw it. You can see that he's already backpedaling at the back on the left here. They're backpedaling one way. Then you can see Nix coming back over the other way. So he comes back. He's throwing it deep down this left-hand side. Makes the reception. Cornerback's on his own if he doesn't get there. Corner does a good job, but he's the back marker, making sure if he gets past him, you're saving a touchdown. Watch that again from the back angle. Vaky's right at the back here. Backpedals. Can see Nix wanting to go right. Now he's going to go left. Tries to locate the ball. Now he sees him. Gets over to cover. Right in the place he needs to be at the time he needs to be.
Yeah, that's great positioning. Great awareness, I say, to keep your eyes on the quarterback. A lot of DBs don't do that. They go by feel and what the other player's doing. And because he's right in the position to say where he needs to be. So that's awareness, that's positioning. That is really good stuff. And again, these are traits that run over to being a running back as well. How you watch the game, like you see how he scans. If your running backs need to be able to scan the field well, they need that good movement. You see the hips are good. So it bodes well for him.
All right, this is going to be the very next play. So 2nd down and 3 on the 48. He's going to be up at the line. He's slow to react here and then potentially overruns the defensive play, and it almost leads to a touchdown. So you can see him up at the line here. You actually see him in this position a lot. We haven't seen a lot of him throughout this video because there are very few notable plays. When he's up at the line, he's simply not big enough when he's coming rushing to really give the offensive line much trouble. The way that he impacts the game here is if he actually gets a free shot because they don't account for him. Doesn't happen very often. Anyway, as I say, slow to react, almost leads to a touchdown after he overruns it. So let's run this through. He's communicating at the line, which is good to see. He's a leader on the team. He kind of stands there. Now he's reacting. Coming down to this left-hand side, he reacts. Running back beats one. He's there in position, and he overruns it. And now he's not in position to make the tackle, and he's very, very lucky he doesn't get in. And I don't really understand why, having overrun it, he doesn't actually get back in position. So let me just highlight Vaky here. I just pressed annotate. Why can't I annotate? So he's here. Can I clear that? Is that going to close or is that going to erase? There we go. Okay. I don't want to annotate anymore. Cool. Right, let's run this through now. So Vaky, he stays where he is. He wants to know what's going on. He sees his guy move. I think he's actually a man here. They got their guy they're assigned to. I think he's on 81, but someone's already running with him. He overruns Bucky Irving. And he's just nowhere near the guy when he's running towards the goal line. I think it's actually better from the other angle, and I kind of want to go back and just watch it again because I feel like he's trying to defend the pylon, but he doesn't end up going that way. So at this point, he's in good position. He's the third defender up here at this spot. And he's going to make the play from here, I think. And then here, he's still in good position. You can see the guy. You've got open field vision of where the ball is. The defender does kind of divert Irving a bit, but he gets through him, and now he's not in position. His momentum is too hot for me.
I remember this play. This is not on him. I don't think. If you see the running back gets knocked out of where he's meant to be back inside, he's supposed to look. He goes to go out, and then he pushes him in. He's taking an angle, assuming he's got because he's going for the pylon.
Yeah.
but the tackle brings him back in. It's still a little, he kind of really did commit to going outside. And you've got to be careful in the scrum. Guys can get knocked around from place to place, but he is knocked off his course, which is the pylon
that's
back
fair.
inside. So I agree. It could be better from him, but I can see why that error occurred. He thought he was going to the pylon. I don't know why I remember that. I think, God, I think we covered this game, and I remember making a similar note at the time that Irving got lucky because he got knocked out the way of the tackler.
Right, that makes sense. Okay, we'll move on to our next play. He is outside corner here against trips, so he often ends up coming down when you've got trip wide receivers, I see. Fights against his block, reacts quickly to release, shows good strength to prevent further progress. So he's the one furthest forward here at the moment. Snaps away, fights through the block, wide receiver screen is faked. He then ends up the tight end releasing and catching the ball. He gets on the right side of him, really anchors to hold him up while other defenders come and help him out. So a successful play for the offense, but he ends up mitigating the damage here. It's a good kind of fake wide receiver screen for Oregon. So fakes it, pumps, now releases, gets it out there. Vaky gets back in position against a man who I will say is probably like 5 inches and about 40 pounds heavier than him, and really anchors to hold him up well, and good strength.
Yeah, it's good technique again. Like I said, when he's in position to make plays, he can use his strength to his ability. So when he's caught out of position and off footing, that it becomes a problem. But he's certainly tough enough. He has the grit factor. He's not afraid to go up to a guy much bigger than him and pile drive him into the ground.
Right, single high here. Comes down in a run fit, takes a good angle, and awful tackle technique once again is my note. So let's see what happens here. He reads the game so well that it's almost infuriating to watch sometimes. The ball's handed off here. He triggers and comes down. He's got the run fit. He takes a great angle. Bucky Irving jukes him. And time again, he's caught in a position where running backs can juke him. I know open field tackling is difficult, right? I know it is. But it happens again and again with him, and it's just frustrating to watch. So you can see him here. He triggers downfield. He knows his fit. He can see the hole. Like, everyone can see the hole. Bucky can see the hole. He actually bounces outside. He does the right thing. And what is that?
I think he goes for the knee. It looks like he just goes for the knee. He doesn't put his arm out to tackle. I think he's just trying to hit low there and bring him down. That is poor technique. You don't just. Right. That is where you're throwing yourself down at the knees there, trying to bring them down. But Bucky Irving he's vastly underrated as a running back.
Bucky's going to be great in the league for sure. But I think the ability here for Vaky to see that despite this massive gap straight in front of Bucky, that he's going to bounce it outside is really good reading of the game.
Yeah.
Here, so seeing that, and then this should just be a clear tackle. Like, there is... What is that? I've stopped it in exactly the right place. What is that?
Like he's flopping for a penalty.
Like, Bucky's a great running back, but he's slippery enough without you giving him a helping hand. Like, Ashley that's Younger. Kind of on your way, mate.
Ashley Young would have been proud of that one. But yeah, give me a guy who's got the IQ. I'd rather a guy who can read the game. She can teach him stuff like this. You can't teach guys how to read a game, though, naturally and instinctively.
Yeah, it's true. Right, this next play. We're in the red zone. 1st and 10 at the 17. He's manned up on the running back. He loses sight of his man and loses contain on this rep. I think it leads to a touchdown, if I'm right. So we're at the top of the screen here. So he's manned up on Bucky, as far as I can see. If you have a look at where all the defenders are, this man at the bottom here is lined up against the X wide receiver at the bottom. So that leaves... Right, let's count this. You've got this guy who's probably on this one. You've got this guy on this one. This one on this one. He's free, which leaves him on Bucky.
all right, John Madden, you got this guy, and then you got this guy, and then you sounded like Madden for a minute then.
I'll take it. Let's watch this. So basically, as this guy, all you've got to do, stop him getting here. Don't let him get outside this. Like, this is your job. Let's roll this through. Snaps high, hands it off. It's a counter. Can't see him, and he's outside him. And at no point there, it's not a touchdown, but he gets plenty of yards. At no point there has Bucky not got the ball. You know, I know it's a counter, but there's no one really in his line of vision. I don't really understand what's happened here. Hands it off. He moves with the play, and he just kind of gets left behind.
Ball watching. Well, I say ball watching. He's watching something.
He's not watching the ball.
No.
It's a disappointing rep, because for all him being able to see the game really well, sometimes I guess you just have a poor play, and that's one of them for him. Last 4 plays here on defense for Vaky. So in the second half here now, he is up at the line, near the line, versus a wide receiver screen. Great pursuit and tackle here. So stands up, gets back down, snaps away, RPO, sees the screen, triggers down, beats the blockers. Good tackle to limit it to, I think, no gain potentially. So
yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. That's just closing speed. That's just instinct there, taking over.
Yeah, so he's there. I'm glad I remembered how to annotate. If only I could turn it off as well. Right, here we go. Gets down into a stance, waits, sees the man move, waits for the throw, triggers on the throw, gets there before he can meet his blockers. And that is how you tackle. That's a proper rugby tackle, that is.
Again, it's when he's making the tackles, he looks like he truly believes in what he's doing. When he's not, he looks undecided and hesitant.
Yeah, potentially it's a confidence thing.
Yeah. But again, this is stuff that can be taught. Like this reading of the game, being able to watch the quarterback so well, being able to react so quickly, that is inherent. That you can't teach. So it's a lot easier to, and maybe I think it's a mile marker who's put it in the chat. Brent, his instincts will work better as a running back because there's a lot less on the plate of a running back. You're not having to worry about coming down. All you've got to do is worry about where you're going. And this natural ability, the way he can move, his acceleration, the short speed acceleration might work well to him being a running back. Take away the stress of having to do all the defensive stuff and be unsure about it. As a running back, your one job is to just move forward and move forward only at any cost.
3 more plays on defense here. This one, he's going to start off as a single high. Sees the counter play, comes up to make the tackle, and again, beaten by a fairly mid-Duke. This Duke isn't changing the world, but it's enough to beat Vaky, unfortunately. So snaps away, goes to hand it off, and counter comes back the other way. Vaky's triggered now. He's going to come back and be that force guy at the end. He's got to make an open field tackle. Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about this one is that the Duke is actually in the direction of his momentum.
Again, it's conviction in what you're doing. Like you're coming down like a train, just go in there and hit him.
There, he's in perfect position.
Yeah.
Because the counters works for Oregon, because this is what you want. You want your running back one-on-one with the safety with a chance to go all the way. So Oregon's players worked, but at this point, Vaky's exactly where he should be.
And he's got someone pushing him out.
Yeah, it's the hesitation there, and
yeah, it's the conviction. See, you've got a player on the edge pushing him to you, so you know he's not cutting back in because he's going to get tackled. So you should be all out on him going to the outside and trying to make room there. And it's just that little stutter. It's conviction. It's just not quite there on these plays where he should have just put his head down, know that he had a guy inside to cover. If the guy does juke him inside, it's not going to matter because someone could be there to tackle him. So hit the outside and hit it hard.
Yeah. Okay. Penultimate play on defense for Vaky. Outside corner here. So it's quite close to the line. He reacts to the rollout well and gets back to cover the free man over the top. Shows off his range, shows off his football IQ here. We're potentially in the wrong spot. I don't really know where to put us so because it's going to be basically the whole of the screen. Let's go there. Okay, so outside corner, snaps away. Nix rolls out. Vaky reacts, sees now the free man, turns back, shows speed. He's pretty close. Nix overthrows him anyway, but probably better shown from the behind angle, I think, here. So Vaky is not on the screen right now, but he's on the left-hand side. So we can see Nix roll out. And that's Vaky at the top left there. So he is running towards the posts. You can see this free rusher who's beating his man, and he curls back in. He's beating him over the top, but he gets back in position. If Nix hits him, he's going to catch it. But the fact that he actually diagnoses the problem, which probably isn't his to begin with, it's that his man has been beating. He actually manages to get back there to cover. And the thing is, if Nix underthrows that, he could be fighting for an interception. So he puts himself in as better spot as he can.
Yeah. Play recognition's really good.
All right, last defensive play. Outside corner again, near the line. Tries to engage too early here. Caught by the tight end. Gives up the edge. Gives up the touchdown. Poor, unfortunate play to finish here. Let's move us down there. All right. So handoff. He tries to come forward a little bit. Engages a tight end who just has enough of him and gives up the edge. It's unfortunate because he's up against a tight end who's much bigger than him. But if he engages here, he loses. Whereas if he holds off, he might win. So here, he's got to face the 3. So that's going to be tough. But the 3 goes towards him and he engages and he gives up that edge. If he keeps moving horizontally, he can cover that off because Irving can't run over his own guy. Like, I know he's a blocker out in front of him, but at the same time, you can't run through a human being. So continue out to the edge and see if one of your guys can fill inside. That's a tough one. But I think he can do better.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good tight end play, though, in fairness.
It is.
Chip block, blocking the guy on the outside. So you've got to give credit to the tight end where it's due there. He did a very good job.
So, just to give some overall observations here, and especially for the guys listening on the audio who aren't actually watching the tape that we're seeing here, he plays all over on defense. He can be a single high. He can be in 2-man as a split safety. He can play in the slot, in some of those linebacker positions, plays a little bit of outside corner, and sometimes stands up outside the outside linebacker. We've actually not seen any of that in these little clips here, but trust me, he does it. I've seen it a lot. Particularly ineffective, actually, outside the outside linebacker, but there we go. Reeds plays very well. He's got a good football IQ. He's got a great trigger and good play recognition. He gets up to speed quite early, although his max speed is clearly not that high, but the fact that he can get up to top speed very quickly means that he can still cover a good portion of the field. He's got good ball skills. We saw that in the interception, but we'll also see it from the offensive play as well. He tries to land big hits in tackles when maybe he should just be wrapping up, misses tackles as a result of weak arm tackles or just no arms in a tackle whatsoever, has a habit of kind of overrunning plays sometimes, which, he maybe doesn't have to commit to things or gives up the edge a little bit too easily. It has to be said, he's in this conference. He's against this caliber of quarterback this season. It can't have been an easy assignment for him. But the fact that he had a better season in 2022 than he did in 2023, the sorts of things like this sort of tackle technique, as well as being a smaller guy in the first place when it comes to the safeties, like he hits hard for how big he is, but he's just not that big. And the technique is concerning, Ant, for me as a safety. Like the play recognition is great, the football IQ is great, but and the grit is on display. But I'm hearing Dan Campbell on Hard Knocks saying pursuit and tackle, and he's got the pursuit, but sometimes he hasn't got the tackle.
No, but most importantly, the tackle can be taught. He's got the traits that you do need. I'd say the diagnostic ability, the short area speed to go and make plays. I mean, that's huge, and it is for a running back as well. To be fair, that short area burst just gets you into that space, and then even average speed from then will get you good yardage. There's stuff to not like on there, but he's got the traits that will help him succeed at the next level, and the stuff that needs developing. Not the other way round. I prefer technicians and IQ guys to straight up athletes and stuff like that. So. Yeah, there's stuff to love and stuff to hate. But again, hey, no rookie's perfect coming out of college. Not one single rookie is perfect coming out of college. So he holds the traits that he needs. It's up to him to develop the rest.
Very true. Right. We have some offensive tape for Vaky as well. We have all 7 offensive plays of him against Washington, and we're going to watch all of them. They're not all fantastic, but they're all pretty good, so it's worth it. PFF grade of 71.3 in this game in the 7 plays he played on offense. 79 in the pass. 57.3 in the run. Seems unfortunate, but he did have one blown up, if I remember. So let's have a watch of this first one. So they come out in shotgun. Runs a flat route. Nice smooth route. Gets up to speed quickly. So I think he's going to, if I remember rightly, just kind of come out here. Oh, I didn't want to leave that up there. Clear and exit. Right, here we go. And of course, we're not on half speed, so you're not going to be able to see the damn thing.
Yes, I'll go for it.
I'm going to change it. No point in this if you can't talk with me, because you know more ball than I do. So, let's have a watch. Snaps away. Runs in the flat. Turns correctly. Looking for it. Doesn't get thrown his way. Defender's obviously following him, but just a smooth route, especially in full speed. I quite liked watching that. We'll see this again, so he's in the backfield. We'll probably not see much of this, actually, from this side. Quite like his release. Just seems quite... like on defense, he's just able to go when he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Snaps away, out he goes. Not a great throw by the Utes quarterback. But anyway, move on to the second play. And what we'll see here is something quite similar. Apart from this time, instead of running into the flat, he's going to run a wheel. He doesn't get separation, but he's definitely causing some trouble. Very similar route by him. So releases again into this sort of angle. Could flatten it out. Continues on. He's got 2 defenders for company. Throws the other way, of course. Defender massively interferes there. Draws a couple of flags. That is not the guy on Vaky. Sorry, I should have said that. I'm just commenting on the play, generally speaking. But it's a nice way of making the same start of the route look like the same overall route. And you could get someone taking the flat and bursting upfield here if the defender's not particularly switched on. He is against a different defender this time, I will say. So anyway, route running, at least from a first couple of looks pretty good. This next play, he's actually going to line up on the line as a slot. I think he might flex into it. Let's have a look. So he flexes out into the slot and someone else comes back into running backs. He's now parted trips on the left-hand side, the nearmost guy. So wide receiver screen thrown to him. He beats one, but fumbles and just about gets back on top of it. So flexes out, gets set, comes back nicely, looking for the ball, receives it well in front of him with momentum, beats that first guy who's been blocked by someone else, and then the hand of the defender gets in there. He realises straight away, manages to get his momentum back to get in there and get back on top of it. It's fortunate. Ball security potentially an issue, question mark? Don't know. But anyway, flexes out here, as you can see. Looking at the down the field angle. Snaps away. Throws the screen to Vaky. Now catches it. Beats the first guy only just. Tries to run around the outside. Great defensive play by the Washington player. Gets back on top of it.
Nah, he's washing. He's hanging that thing out like a stick of rhubarb, as Jeffrey Boycott used to say. He's washing that ball is way too far from his body. Got to have it a lot tighter than that. You can see the arm is sticking out with gaps there, and that's waiting to be knocked out. So it's good movement, but you've got to look after that thing. You saw Gibbs when they were interviewing Gibbs and him talking about how you secure the ball properly, stop it getting knocked out. He's a guy who doesn't usually fumble it. That's technique. But again, the instinct's on show. The second it's out, to know where it is to go and get it, that reaction speed that's a plus. That is.
Because also just the way that he runs the screen is perfect. And
running backs have to have really good reactions, and his reaction skills are good. That's what will give him an edge over bigger, scarier dudes than him, is his reaction times, his ability to adjust. So that's what you're looking at there. But yeah, that ball security's got to get better. You can't waft your arm out like that. Any half decent NFL player will have that thing out if you do that.
So the Utes here are at the 16-yard line of Washington, so they're in the red zone. He's the Z wide receiver down here at the bottom. He runs a curl, but actually comes back quite a long way to the ball, makes a good catch, manages to ride the tackle with good contact balance to make something out of completely nothing on this play, and then ends up drawing a penalty for a horse collar tackle. So he turns a bit of a nothing play into a really big positive here, does Vaky. Let's watch this through. So snaps away, releases off the line really well. Two-step curl, comes back for it, about to where he was when he started. Quarterback has to scramble upfield, dumps it off. Defender's coming up, beats him, stays up, beats the next guy. He's got 3 defenders around him, jukes one, and he gets hauled down by his neck. That's going to tack on a half-distance penalty and puts them in 1st and goal. Gets 4 flags on that one. So let's watch this through from the other angle. You can't see him right now. So the quarterback's going to take it. He's not looking at Vaky at this point. He's trying to look upfield for the end zone. Has to scramble. And then dumps it off to Vaky. Beats this guy going low. Stays up. Beats this guy going wide. Big man's coming to him. Jukes him. And the big man... Oh, it's not even a horse collar, sorry. It's a huge helmet. Got hands in the helmet. In the grill. And really impressive contact balance. Able to beat 3 guys there. And I mean, when he catches the ball, he's bang to rights here.
Yeah, definitely. It's impressive stuff. You can see why they've probably gone for him on this side of the ball. I think his traits do translate better running the football. And these plays, why?
I mean, I don't see how he makes anything from it in this position. He's got the ball in his hands here. How on earth does he beat that guy?
It's the short area speed. It's the instinct as well. That instinct will just be able to get you out of the way. You're that quick. You think that, that just little extra second to think and to outsmart guys is the difference between getting absolutely mullered there and making something extra behind it. So when you look at this, and it's just evident on a lot of plays that the IQ is there and that he's very smart.
It's a rough tackle as well. I mean, his helmet almost gets ripped off.
But great, you got to be tough. Got to get through stuff like that's going to happen.
Yeah. Right. This is an exciting place. The Utes are down 10-7. 9 minutes 19 left in the second quarter. So he's still pretty early on in the game, down 10-7. So he is in the backfield here in shotgun. This is going to be a diagonal run as if he's running an angle route. And then he ends up curling back towards the quarterback from the backfield. So maybe running just beyond the line of scrimmage and then coming back to the quarterback. Like you're running a Texas route. Or maybe you're running a wheel. But you end up stopping coming towards back towards the quarterback. Follows his blocks really well. Shows off his top speed, which isn't fantastic. But it's enough to get him a really nice long touchdown. I mean, you are 47 yards here in your own half. So 53 to go from where the ball is snapped. And it's a great long run. Let's flow this through. So he releases here, angle, comes back. It's actually a screen. Nice block there, follows his block there, gives him a little bit of room, Defenders still all around him here, but he manages to burn them. Safety should get there, but takes a poor angle. Manages to ride the final challenge into the end zone he goes. Watch that again from the reverse angle. But when his receiving stats look really good, this is one of the reasons why. So he's in the backfield right now, number 28. Releases off the line. Quarterback now looks his way. Offensive lineman's coming out in front. Good block by him. Seizes number 61. Waits for that block to come. Gets there. And now he's off to the races. I don't know how number 7 doesn't get there, but he actually ends up burning him. 28's taking a bad angle. And just about stays up for the score. Good route running. Doesn't actually come directly back to the quarterback, which I thought initially, but actually ends up kind of almost flattening it out and kind of reversing a little bit towards the sideline. Gives him a little bit of room. Gives him the ability for the offensive lineman pulling to get out in front of him. And then waits for another offensive lineman to get out in front of him. And it's a well-designed play by the Utes, but he executes it perfectly.
It's awareness from him. Like, you know, he's not the biggest dude in the entire world, so you need your guys to come out and block for you to get those obstacles out the way and then go out and trust him, you know, when he's 1-on-1 or 2-on-1 in that case, to go and get the yardage, which he does. It was the quality I loved about Jamar Jefferson when he came out. He was a smaller dude. You know, sometimes it was tough to deal with the bigger guys, but his redeeming quality was his ability to be aware, to wait for the gaps to appear, to wait for blocks, not show his hand too early, because a lot of runners do that. They just pick a lane and go for it. They're not aware. So, you know, I sense his sort of vibes in him, and, you know, it's highly underrated. So, yeah, like I said, guy his size needs to wait for the right opportunity. So being that aware is a good thing.
Right, the last offensive play here for Vaky. Quarterback and shotgun in an empty set. Vaky's lined up just off the line, outside the tight end. Bit of an odd starting position here. Takes an outside handoff, but this gets blown up. He's got nowhere to go. He really needs a better rep from the left tackle here, I think. We'll play this through. Snaps away. Left tackle engages. He takes the hand off. It's not the left tackle. He comes upfield. He slips. Anyway, I thought something. Never mind. That was not worth commenting on. Ignore me. Right. That is Vaky. So there are more plays that you can have a look at there. And Ant specifically referred, I think, is it to the USC game?
Yeah.
When we can't show it, it's on YouTube. If we show content from YouTube, we could get pinged for copyright. So not doing that. There's lots of examples of the really good route running and running back play that you've shown. That's the tape that we're able to show. Obviously, the long touchdown is great, but he's got a good trigger. He's got some understanding of how to run routes. He can run them smooth. He can be fairly sudden. He's got good contact balance. He's got good awareness. And some of the traits that we've seen of him as a safety, where maybe he's a bit deficient in terms of his tackling ability. Obviously, he doesn't have to worry about that there, but the football IQ, the balance, the explosiveness kind of really shows itself as a running back.
Yeah, he's got the traits he needs. It's just up to him to develop them. This is very much a development project here. They see him being better on the offensive side of the ball, which is probably the right call. And it's up to them to develop him going forward. Like I say, I'm still skeptical. Give up 3 picks for him going up as well. So that must mean they have a very specific plan for him. And he'll be a big weapon in the offense going forward. Might take a bit of time with him. We've got 2 bona fide running backs in already, so he doesn't need to hit the field right away. He's got plenty of time to learn and develop this system. So yeah, the traits are there. It's just can they turn him into what they think he can become? Which for my rating, he'll probably be a Swiss Army knife. Me and may even see him on 1st and 2nd downs, trying to put him in the slot against maybe some bigger, slower guys on the outside, trying to, you know, just trying to find a mismatch here, use that short area speed, try to make some trick plays with him. Maybe see him on end arounds, etc. But he's intriguing. But what they do with him is even more intriguing because I don't know just yet, but we will see.
Just want to give a shout out to Silver Rush 24 on Twitch, subscribing at tier 1. for their 11th month. Thank you very much, sir. Almost up to a year. I am going to just go and get myself a quick beer. Ant, do you have some introductory comments for Wingo, which you can share?
I can do.
Yeah, if you don't have them ready, it's fine.
No,
Minutes.
it's fine. I've got them here. So yeah, that's Sione Vaki done. Next, we're gonna take a look at Mekhi Wingo. We're gonna be looking at the footage from their opener last year against Florida State. I picked this specifically. I hoped Ash might be with us this evening so that I could take the mick out of Florida State a little bit, as well as do this breakdown of Mekhi, but he's moving house this week, so he'll be back with us next week. So no doubt he'll be listening and watching this. But let's face it, Florida State kind of blew them out last year. But this is a really interesting game to watch. So flat on disclosure, for anyone who kind of watched our post-draft coverage, the little bit we did with it, I wasn't enamored with the Mekhi pick. Still not entirely, but this is a very fun game to watch for him specifically. And I love watching defensive linemen. You know, pretty much every play, there is something to be had from it. You're looking for skill, you're looking for technique, you're looking for the motor, you're looking for the pass rush arsenal. There's all sorts of bits and bobs you can focus on with this. So it's a fun game. And for me, it gives a very accurate portrayal of him as a player, his deficiencies, his good parts. So we're going to go through all that in a moment. You all ready, Matt?
All ready to go. Just tell me how are we doing this? So are you doing specific plays or are we running through the whole thing?
Well, I've written notes for every play and I've written the ones that I feel are vital at this point. So I don't know if you want to run his college stats or I don't know if you did it, or I don't know if there's you want to put in context beforehand or
right, let's just talk college stats just to do it. So Wingo played at Missouri in 2021 and then LSU for his final 2 years before declaring. 52 games overall. No, not 52 games overall. What am I on about? 35 games overall. 104 total tackles, 52 solo, 52 assisted, 13 tackles for a loss, 8.5 sacks, 1 interception for a touchdown. 4 passes defended, 2 fumble recoveries, and 8 forced fumble in his career. That is it in terms of college stats. I don't know about PFF. I don't have it up. I don't particularly care.
that's fine.
Right. So shall I run this at full speed? Because if we go half speed, it will be 48 minutes. Actually, we've probably spent that on. Let's do it half speed. It's more fun. Right. We'll start running through it now, shall we?
So this is the first play of and first off, he's the number 18 in this. If you're looking for him, the famed LSU number 18 given to the player of high distinction on the team, so shows a little bit about his character there. But anywho, we'll move it on. So this first play is playing at the 4-eye, plays a lot here just on the inside shoulder of the tackle. So this is a passing play. He's gonna attack the edge. You're gonna see him nibble on a fake handoff, which takes him out of Jordan Travis's passing lane. He's able to complete a pass to the right. So you'll see him attack the edge. You see the handoff. He just nibbles inside. You can see, just been suckered in by that one there. It's a little bit of poor tackling there, so they're able to get some yards off the catch. But that's one for me. You've just got to be careful. Teams love running fake handoffs in the NFL. You've just got to be disciplined in that regard. Because if you stay in that lane, look, just one step in, no. If you stay in that lane, you stop that pass from happening. Jordan Travis has to leave his pocket and scramble. So just a little bit of an IQ thing on that. So it's not massive, but you don't want it. You see a lot of guys in the NFL getting sucked in from the edge for fake handoffs. Just got to be careful with that one there. This play next, it's just a quarterback rollout and a completed pass. He gets double teamed by the right guard and right tackle. So not really much on show here. You'll see, there's only so much you can do when he's running away from you. Passes out. It's a good catch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is that Keon?
I think it's Keon. You'll see one later as a touchdown run, which is great. But yeah, he's just double teamed. Not really a lot you can do in the middle here. When the quarterback rolls out away from you, you're kind of on a hiding to nothing. But yeah, catch is beautiful. One-handed catch, both feet down as well. and out. Right, so stop for this one. So again, he's playing at the 4-eye. So this is a completed pass. So this is a problem I have with him. His pass rush arsenal is non-existent. He is based on speed and power, and there is very little attempt from him to deploy moves to beat. So you're going to see him here. It's a right guard, right tackle tandem on him that he goes one after the other, but it's just a completely ineffective pass rush. There's no innovation, nothing to try and get to the quarterback, and this is a theme in what he does. So if you roll it, it's just really what annoys me with him. So you see him there, right guard just passes him on, right tackle passes him on. There's no swims, there's no spin. There's just real no attempt to get to the quarterback there, and you can see it better from this view. Like, he's great off the line of scrimmage, can put guys in bad situations, but there's just, yeah.
Poor pad level, like really explosive off the line, but he's very high.
Again, this is going to be a theme of all the bits I'm going to go through with him there. So,
good catch by Wilson there as well. One of mine and Ash's draft.
So if we just stop it quickly. So this one, he's playing at the 2-eye now. So he's on the inside of the guard, a little bit closer to the interior. 4-eye and 2-eye is where he predominantly plays in this game. So this is going to be a stuffed run. It's much better from him. So you'll notice the quick get off from the line of scrimmage. He gets under the right guard's pads and sheds him. Unfortunately, he will get jammed by the center, who is pushed back. The center gets pushed back into him, so it's not his fault. There is a gap, but then that gap closes because one of his teammates has dominated the center. So he can't get back in to the backfield to make a play, but the run gets stuffed anyhow. So if you just watch him on the get-go, he is very quick. Under the right guard's pads, you see him go up, sheds him, and then he can't get into the backfield. It's because the center gets pushed back in and blocks his rushing lane. It's nothing to do with him. But it just goes to show you that get off, it gives these FSU linemen a lot of trouble. So you see him there, up he goes, down, shed, he's through.
That's
he just gets jammed in the middle, which is not his fault. If he has that gap available, there is an opportunity to make a play in the backfield. It only goes for about a yard or two anyhow, but that's the good side of him. His get off allows him leverage a lot of the time. So that's just a taste of what he can do in that regards. Next, he's playing outside again. He's at the 4. He's kind of maybe at the 5 tech, right opposite the tackle.
Yeah, looks like 5.
This is a completed pass. This is another poor pass rush. So there's a little stutter to start with, but there's no attempt of a move here. He just runs at the right tackle, who gets under his pads and stops him dead in his tracks. And this is just really annoying. So let it roll. You'll see a little sort of stutter. He loves going with the outside foot, stuttering, but then it's just into the tackle, and there's no use of his hands. There's no movement. The right tackle is under him, and he can't do a damn thing.
There's no counter.
No. And I love doing my DT stuff. Every time I did a play with Liam McNeil, even if he wasn't winning on plays, the hands were there, the moves were there, some kind of innovation in his pass rush. But that is literally just running a bulky-ass right tackle, trying to bull rush him out of the way. And there's no plan to it. There's no rhythm. There's no rhyme.
You'd like to see, so with his momentum there, if he could bring his right hand over into a swim, get underneath the man's shoulders, then he could just carry his momentum forward there. He's explosive enough off the line where if he could actually use his arms, use his hands, he could be away there. It wouldn't take much.
No, and you're going to see it with some later plays where he does get there. He just doesn't take control when he's on top as well. But anywho, I'll move it on to this one. We're at 135. So he's playing at the 3 tech here. It's an incomplete pass. I think here he bites on a handoff that doesn't happen. This is a horrible play regardless. If he's bitten on a handoff, it's not a very good handoff. It's bad play recognition because Travis doesn't even try a fake here. But the way he goes, it looks like he's going after the running back. If he hasn't, then he's let the right guard get under his pads and completely take him out of the play. He gets turned around. He's no idea where the ball is. You can see him looking around for it. But if you just roll it, so he ends up on the right-hand side of the line here going across. He fake to the running back. He goes up as though he's about to tackle the running back. Travis has the ball. His head's just like, oh, where is it? Ball's out, and it's gone. But if you look at it from the back view, this sort of gives you the better view of it here. So you can see him there on the left, just on the guard's shoulder. He comes across and look at him, the running back. He's going after the running back, but Travis hasn't even made an attempt to hold that off. He's turned around by the right guard who's under his pads. The ball's out whilst he's away from the play. So if he's bit on the run, that's bad play recognition. If he's not bitten on the run, the right guard has just completely out leveraged him out of the situation there. I didn't like that one.
It smacks
at all from
of
him.
a defensive coordinator saying, right, we're crashing right here. And that's all they've said to him. They haven't said, and what happens when you do this is that you need to drop your shoulder and potentially swim the guy if he needs to come inside or try and beat him for pace around the outside. It's like he's just been told, just run to the right. And like there's no plan whatsoever about like what happens when you do that. It's just like some smart idea they've had, and Wingo has no fucking clue what he's doing.
There's too many instances of this, I think, for it to be a schematic thing. But I will be nice about him as well. But it's not good going in the early ones of this for him. So this play now, we're at nearly 2 minutes. So he's playing on the 4-eye again this time. So this is actually a much better run play from him. So the center is going to pull across to the left to block him. He does really well not to allow a direct hit, because if you get a direct hit, it just curbs your momentum and you're not going anywhere. But you'll see him, he'll get the contact on the left shoulder, he'll get outside leverage, and you'll see him swipe him, and the center actually goes down to the ground. He just completely has his way with him here. Unfortunately, the run goes in the other direction, so he doesn't make an impact on the play. But this is seeing the technique at work. So if you run it, you'll see the center come across, no direct contact, on the shoulder, uses his hands well to disengage him, and would be there to make a play if it wasn't going in the other direction. So like this, you just see up on his side, swipe across, center's gone. That's where he's dangerous. His get off allows him to get into advantageous situations, especially if someone's pulling and he's got a yard or two to get going. But you see it, it's just lovely stuff here. If he gets hit flush, he's going nowhere, but he gets the side, gets his arm across, center's gone.
Yeah.
And it's just really good strength from him. So again, it's like with Vaki, I can see what they see in him. But I really like that. The run obviously goes the other way, but that's the great thing about DTs. Even if they're not involved in the play, you can take something from the play itself. So look, on the outside shoulder,
that's where he pulls him. He pulls him
leverage
down like that. And that's the best arms work I've seen him do, the best hands work he's shown yet.
It is. And it's in his arsenal if he wants to. He doesn't combine it with enough other elements to be effective all the time. But it's a good play by him regardless.
I mean, the problem with that rep is that the center's momentum is taking him towards that way. So he is helped in trying to pull him down by the fact the center's had to pull in the first place.
He is, but also you do have to get on there because he can hit you flush. But he's quick enough to be able to get out of the way of that. However, next up, he's at the 4-eye again. This is an incomplete pass, but this is another bad pass rush. He's on the opposite side for the first time this time. It's on the right side. He tries to bull rush the left guard. They get each other's pads, but the guard just plants an anchor and forces Wingo up, destroying his momentum. This is bad technique. It's better seen from the other view, but just watch him. This is where the lack of a pass rush is. They've got each other's pads, but then the left guard, you can see him anchor, and then you can just see Wingo lift up in the air. That's bad leverage because that kills your momentum as a pass rusher, and you see him just trying to flail his hands around, trying to do anything. But this is where I just despise the lack of pass rush moves. So there he is on the left. He's coming in. You can see him there, just right at the goal post. They've got each other's pads, but look at the guard anchor and force him up. Boot in the ground, Wingo's up in the air. The pass rush, there's just no attempt to deploy any sort of countermeasure to that. He's just trying to bull rush him. And, it's an incomplete pass, but this is, again, looking at technique. when I talked about Aleem, even Aleem for a big bulky nose tackle at his time, he had spins. He used to hit the edge. He used to do all sorts of little nuancy things to try and give himself an advantage. This is why Wingo got picked so late for me, because he's got the athleticism, but the skill doesn't go with it.
Yeah,
Playing.
I would just say the only thing is, I think by the time he's making his rush, he realizes he's not making impacts on the play. On his side of the formation is trips. So he knows that the throw is likely going over his head. So the fact that when he knows he's beaten on the rep, he kind of gives up the rush and gets his arms in the air to get in the throwing lanes. I don't hate it, showing that his football IQ isn't too bad. But you're right, the pass rush just could be better to begin with.
Yeah, that's the thing with that. Right, we're at 241 now, roughly. So we're playing at the 4i again. Loves playing here. So this is a completed pass. There's good and bad here. So the get off, and this is his main weapon. The get off is lightning quick, and you will see this violent punch from him. Makes really short work of the left guard, but then he runs into the center, who gets under his pads and stops him in his tracks. And then sort of Travis holds around in the pocket for a bit. He breaks out to the right, and then he's with the right guard at this point. He can't disengage from the right guard either, although the center's holding him. But the get off initially is really good, but then he can't beat the second man. So you see here, get off, great, gets under, punch, past him, gets into the center may be able to get under, holds him there. Then you see Travis roll out. The right guard comes across. He can't disengage from grappling with him, and the pass is made. But I like the opening to this. You watch the opening, you watch the get off. He makes mincemeat of the left guard.
I don't know about this, because he seems to explode out of the blocks, but also go nowhere. Like, he just kind of...
He's in the center quick. So if you watch him close, he's just on the side of the goalpost again. Up under the pads, punch to the side, he's past him, but then the center's got no one to block, so he's essentially waiting there for him. But what I'm looking at here with the right, he can't disengage. Like with Aleem, when I did his footage, I got fed up of saying the term engage, disengage, make tackle. His ability to disengage off blocks was just second to none. Wingo has a problem when it comes to trying to disengage from blocks, which is tough, especially when it comes to the run game. Like I say, that get off, that initial hit to just destroy the guard, really, really impressive. 310 now. You can just enjoy Keon Coleman on this one. This is a touchdown. He's playing at the 5 tech. The ball comes out real quick, but he'll force a couple of missed tackles, taking it to the house. Wingo can't really make a play here, but just enjoy the touchdown. Let's say ball's out, quick, in it goes. One tackle missed, Duke, second man missed. See you bye. Off you go to the house.
Oh, yeah.
LSU's defense doesn't cover themselves in glory in this one.
Was it the Bills who took Keon? I'm gonna.
Bills took Keon.
Ugh.
But you
Good
can see him there. He's one-on-one with the right guard, but the ball's out. Like, he's taken 3 steps and the ball's out. Breaks one tackle. Duke, see you bye. That's just wonderful play, that is. So you can just appreciate that for the receiver play as it is. Next play, ball's out in a flat. You can go to 355 now if you want. Next play is it's like a pass out in like a...
Here we go, 355.
Playing at the 4i now. He's completely bodied by the left tackle who gives him nothing. So he absorbs the initial impact and then he gets his pads on the second go, keeping him out of the play. So that, again, this is technique and leverage. Tries to bully him here, but you just watch the left tackle absorb the contact and then grab his pads and take him out this play. So you see there, bang, hit each other, they let go. Left tackle gets back on him. He's on his pads, forcing him backwards. And again, the disengaging's not there. He comes across. He doesn't make the play there. He's able to get away eventually, but for the most part, that left tackle just really bodies him on this play. You can see it from here. He's right on the right, just opposite. He's just inside the left tackle. You see, up he goes. Initial contact. Then you see the pads. He's got him. You can't get off it. And it's only when the play's right on the other side of the field, the pass comes back in, so that's why it's kind of near to it. But again, I'm looking technique from guys on the interior. It's just that inability to disengage it's just a worrying feature on a lot of these plays. Right, what were we on? 420. So this is a stuffed run. This is much better from him. So he's going to be up against the right. He's at the 4i opposite the right tackle this time. He forces him back. You'll see him create separation. So if you stop it just after he initially hits it, like he's got a lot of separation from the right tackle. Everyone else is bolt up. It allows him to dictate the play. It means that the right guard can separate from the right guard. He'll help his two buddies stop the run here. So if you run it, but just watch the initial the thing he tried with the left tackle last time. Up he goes. Look at that separation he gets there. For all the other guys on the line are completely hemmed up at this point. He has got an arm's length. Means he's got the right tackle off balance. When the running back comes past, he disengages, helps make the tackle. See, sheds, comes in, helps his mates out. 3 of them take him down. That is my bread. I love this. I love this stuff with DTs. But again, it's the violent get off the nature. Up he goes, bang, and there's the separation. Just allows him to get off, which he's not shown that on very many plays, but it is possible for him as and when he wants to. But yeah, I really like that. If you can do that a bit more, then he's got something going for him. Next one is this his first quarterback hit. So this is going to be a quarterback hit from him. So he's playing at the 3 tech here. This is a very beautiful play. So he shoots a gap between the center and the right tackle with, again, a really quick get off. He keeps his eye on the ball. So he sniffs a fake handoff, which he could easily bite on. And he just levels Jordan Travis, who somehow manages to complete a pass to one of his own players from this. But just watch how he shoots the gap, ignores the fake, levels the quarterback. Through he goes, ignores the fake, bang. And Travis somehow completes a pass here, but you can see him get up and he's like, ow, that hurt. But you can see it lovely here from the back view because the right guard pulls, so the center and the right tackle sort of converge to stop him. He just hits that gap, ignores the running back, doesn't bite on the fake, levels the quarterback. This is just good DT play, especially when you are based on your speed and your power. So through he goes, shoots the gap, ignores the fake, bang. That's
so good.
That is just great play. I really like that, and it's a shoddy tackle. Like LSU's tackling in this game was atrocious. I've not checked what their PFF grade is, but it won't be good. How Travis makes that pass, I don't know. But as far as Wingo's concerned, that's just really impressive, and that's what his game is based on. So that's great. You can go to 522 now. There's one play he's not involved in. So 522, he's playing at the 4i again. So this is a completed pass. Lightning quick off the edge again. It allows him to get the edge on the center. He tries to hit a small gap by the left guard, but he runs into him and loses all his momentum. Now here, I have to show you this. This is where I would like to see him start, because he has the edge. He can cut back inside. He can swim back inside. He can spin back inside. But instead, he kind of just runs into a crowded alleyway, which means he loses his advantage over the center. So just, you can watch this. He's on the he's on the left there. So you see he hits the center, he's on the edge, but he runs into a crowd. Look at that gap on the other side. You see it better from the back. The right guard's got a late blitzer to deal with. And I just feel like he could do something different rather than just heading for the gap that's about to get absolutely crushed. So he's behind the goalpost here on the D line. So watch the speed in him coming across and getting the edge on the center. It's really impressive. And if there's no one there, then he's got him beaten all ends up. So just look at the get off. He's on the edge, but there. Spin back in. Now he's trying to do it. It's way too late. You've got the edge on him. You've got him off his feet. Get back on the other side and you'll deck him. He'll be gone and you're able to make a play. If you go back to that view again, from the back view, you'll see what I mean. So he comes across. I'll tell you when to stop it. Stop it there. So look at that. So you've got a double team from the left tackle and the left guard, but you're running into that and the center's trying to push you into it. You've got the edge there. I would love to see some sort of move to bring him back across the center to hit that gap and go after the quarterback. The quarterback's not rolling anywhere. He's in his pocket. He's not going left. He's not going right. But instead, you are rushing into a crowded alley where he loses his momentum because he runs into the left guard. Now, again, I mention Aleem all the time because I've done his tape, but Aleem spins. He gets situations where he'll make that room, and it's like he's just thinking, I'm strong enough, I'll bulldoze my way through. Just use some finesse here. That right guard, you've got a blitzer coming from the left that you can't see. That right guard's going to have to pick up. So he's going to be able to. So you just keep on playing it. See the blitzer there? It's picked him up. There would have been a gap. He couldn't have blocked them both. That's just a little nitpick of mine, and I don't know how easy it is. I don't know whether that's a legitimate argument, but I feel like he could have done more to come back inside there.
Hard to compare him to Twinkle Toes.
Yeah, but again, the get off is great. Attacking the edge, great. Just need to be a little smarter with your pass rush. That's the problem I've got with him there. You can go to 607 now.
Here we go.
So he's playing at the 2i here. He's inside on the guard. So this is a run stuff. So this is really stout, strong run defense from him. So he gets under the right guard, and what you'll see is he arches him backwards. Effectively, he just makes him a giant roadblock for his own running back. And the more impressive thing is you see the right tackle come behind the right guard and try to create a little scrum to push him forward. Mecky holds them both up on his own because he's got the right guard arched backwards, and then the running back tries to hit that gap. He's got nowhere to go. He gets swallowed up. This is really, really good run defense from Mecky here. So run it. You watch the right guard arch back because he's just got him in the air and he's got the leverage. Up he goes. You see a scrum behind. Mecky's holding one-on-one there, running back, nowhere to go, swallowed up. This is even more impressive from behind for Lucky because you'll see the right tackle comes in and literally starts pushing his right guard forward like, come on, we got to go here, gents. And he can't because Mecky's got the advantage. So there he is, just on the shoulder, under guy's arch. They're trying to run up. Look at the running back. I've nowhere to go. Edge is there. Wingo's holding up the center. No run. That's incredibly strong.
Yeah,
from him.
That's really impressive. Just want to say a big thanks to Jeff Early for the super sticker, $20. Appreciate you, man. The biggest contributor to us by far. Your support is much appreciated.
So here, 631 is playing at 4i again. This is a drop pass. Gets under the left guard, gives him a lot of trouble, but the pass is out quick here. There's again, I've noted here there's not much creativity when he's rushing. So if you watch it again, gets the leverage, but doesn't finish it or attempt to add anything to it, which will just get him there. So you'll see up he gets, he's under the guard, passes out quick, but I'm looking at what he's doing as a guy here. I'm trying to see what his skill set is because he doesn't know the pass is coming out
does
so quick.
Get some penetration, but nothing there. Like,
yeah, so just watch. He's going to come in on the left guard, but he's just holding him up. There's no separate. He's not trying to disengage. He's not trying to get there. He's just
no
almost
swim, no pull, no rip.
No, there's nothing there, which is just, it allows the pass is out quite quick. So even if he does beat him, he might not be able to make a play, but he doesn't know that. This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for what you're doing on plays where you're not necessarily there. Right. Now he's playing at the 5 tech. This is an interception. So this is a weird one. So he attacks around the edge of the left tackle. He's miles away from the play here, and it looks weird because it looks like he's just run off into the middle of nowhere. But LSU bring a free blitzer from the left, and I think the blitzer's meant to flush Travis in his direction. But Travis just dukes the blitzer, sidesteps him, but he throws a horrendous pass that gets picked here. Almost worth watching it for that alone. So watch how far he is from the play. You think, where the hell's he going? But look at that blitzer. Sidesteps him, passes out, and it's just straight to an LSU player. But I think the design is to, like, Wingo's meant to attack that edge because I think Travis is meant to be scrambling in his direction. But in fairness to Travis, he's got really good feet. Look how he just sort of nonchalantly sidesteps the blitzer here. So Wingo's gone. He's quite clearly going that way, just gone. Just he's tackling thin air, so can't really have a go at Wingo for anything on that one. It's just a weird play, but it's a terrible throw.
It is what it is. Yeah, terrible by Jordan.
Right, 7-16. This is a good play from Wingo again. So this is right on their own. He nearly gets a safety here. So he's going to absolutely destroy the right guard. He's playing at the 2i on the guard's shoulders. So he gets under him, he forces him back, he sheds him. He is a whisker from tackling the running back in the box here. But this is a supreme display of strength from him. Nearly gets a safety. So watch him. Up he goes. Up,
Oh, yeah.
sheds.
Oh.
And he's an arm's width away. I think a little hole opens up for the running back to hit. If he carries on in the direction he is, that's a safety. But just watch his get up and shed and go. It's beautiful. So up he goes, up, past him, shed.
In fact, that's a hold. That's probably a hold and a safety if they call that properly. Because
we can't say that. We're Hutch fans. Like nothing gets called holds no more.
Sure, but realistically, the guard has Wingo outside of the shoulders, so he's preventing his progress, and it's inside of the end zone. So I think that should be a safety, to be honest.
Yeah, but again, that's just a really good play there. He absolutely dominates his man. He forces the running back into a different lane. Anyhow,
I want to see it again. Let's have a look. See 71's left hand here.
Just he's nothing.
Yeah, he's on his shoulder pads.
Yeah. Homer, Florida State ref. What can I say? Paid him off. Sorry, I've not been nasty enough to them yet. But
can't believe they had an unbeaten season. Oh wait.
What are we at next? 7:37. Playing at the Right, so the play goes away from him here. It's a completed pass. He's fighting with the left tackle on this one. Actually, much better hand fighting here. He actually disengages from the left tackle, but the play goes away from him. But watch him specifically. This is better hands against the tackle than what we've seen previously. So you see him up he goes, sheds him quite quickly. A lot better hands, but it's just the play goes away. But on an innocuous look, you'd look at that and think he does nothing. But this is why I love doing DTs. There's something to watch every single play. Look, up he goes, punch, just sheds him. It's just strength again. And you can see it's not deliberate because the left tackle looks in the other direction because he's been forced that way. So that's, again, a supreme show of strength from him. Just unfortunately, the play doesn't go his way. 7:53. So he's playing at the 2-eye here. So this is almost a pick. It should be a pick. I don't know how it's not. It's just a messy play altogether. So he contacts the left guard, but then he tries to sort of hit around the edge. He runs into his own guy. So then he stops pass rushing. He gets into Travis's passing lane. Then Jordan Travis tries to scramble. So he comes back inside. Him and another LSU guy tackle him. They force a misthrow from Travis, which should be picked off, but like two LSU guys go for it and they drop it. But it's a decent play from him, but yeah, this is just messy. So you see him contact the left guard, then he runs into his own guy trying to go around the outside, then he gets the passing lane, which is good. Then he comes back inside when Jordan tries to run, two of them tackle him, and then they just lob it up. And how that's not picked right at their own 10 is anyone's mystery. But this is good perseverance by him. So, yeah, up, left guard, tries to go around the outside, clashes heads. He's watching where he's trying to throw. He's in the passing lane, comes back inside straight away. Two of them, down he goes. Force a stupid throw from him because he's got nowhere to go. That should be a pick. Maybe a pick six.
That's a good rep.
It's not. But it's a good rep from him. So you've got to give him his dues where it is. 8:18. So he's playing at the 3 tech now. This is a tackle for loss, not from him, but so you will see a very quick get off. He's going to shoot a gap between the left tackle and the left guard, and he's going to beat the pulling right guard, who I assume is the man who's meant to block him, but he's just way too quick from him. The running back holds him up a little bit, but Travis hurries out a pass behind the line of scrimmage, and it's a tackle for loss. But again, watch his get off. He's so quick between the gap. The right guard can't get across quick enough, and it takes the running back as well to keep him out. Like that's multiple guys they're putting on him there. The pass has to come out quicker because he's putting pressure on. Again, watch the gap shooting. That right guard's going to pull across, but he can't get to him in time. And look, he's already positioned himself inwards to make that run to block him. But yeah, the gap shooting's really good when they give him the opportunity because his speed's just something else. So there, through the gap, right guard flails a hand out, can't get him. Running back's there. There's pressure from the other side as well. forces the quick throw. It's a tackle for loss. Negative play, as they say. So again, he doesn't really impact it, but I like what I see from him there in terms of his technique. I'll just turn the page. Right, so he's playing at the 4-eye here. This is a quarterback run. This is another messy play from LSU. So all 3 LSU rushers go interior, and they get involved in just one big massive pile up in the middle. Basically, the offensive tackles have no work to do here. But if we watch Wingo specifically, he's the least to blame. He's up against the right guard. He has this vicious swipe to get the inside track on him, but he's helpless to avoid the scrum that follows. But then he's really good hustle recovery from him because Travis goes running and he does try to track him down. So yeah, just watch the 3 rushes from this angle. It's messy. All 3 of them are just piled on one another.
Sake.
And the tackles are not there. But then you'll see Wingo. Watch him track back with Travis. Don't get him, but this is the hustle I like from my D lineman. He's there. He's helping make the play. So yeah, it looks like but watch him here, one-on-one with this man. Watch him beat the inside again. Swipe, inside, he's got it. It's just his nose tackle's been an idiot and run in front of him. So actual technique standpoint, again, he uses that violent swipe and the quick get-off to get the better of the offensive lineman, which is good. It's just those linemen balls it up, but he's still running there after it. Big man. He's there to help make the play. I like that from my D lineman, the tracking back, the hustle. Because there are a lot of plays where you don't see it from him, but he does have it in him. He's a nose tackle here. Rare appearance at nose tackle. It's a completed pass. Beats the center from the get-go with his sheer speed. But the left guard gets hands on him, holds him up till the pass is thrown again. I think, can he spin the other way to make an opportunity for himself? I think he can, but again, this is the problem. Lack of pass rush moves here, but watch him beat the center all ends up. Like, it's really good. But then could he just utilize that space by trying to spin out of it into some more room? It's harder to see here. You can see him sort of engaged there and he can't get off the block. It's tough. It's easier to see from the back view.
It feels like his job there is to block for the stunt coming around him, and he actually releases from the centre maybe a bit too easily. Ideally, he'd take up the centre.
He doesn't touch the centre.
Does he
when
not?
You watch. No, he just goes around the edge of the centre. Look, straight round the edge.
Oh, yeah.
Onto the guard. Here, there's a gap there that appears, and he doesn't...
Yeah.
Like, that same gap appears, and he's locked up. He does have a little bit of leverage. It's like, I just want to see some attempt to get into that gap. Some pass. That's where the pass rush moves come in, to be able to utilize that space. Will he get to Travis? Not necessarily, but that's what I want to see from you. I want to see the effort. There's just too many plays for me where I'm not seeing an attempt to have a pass rush move, to do something a bit different, to create a chance for yourself, which is why plays like this will flag for me. We're at 9:35-ish now.
Correct.
Playing at